Slow down, you move too fast.
That's what you need to do before you go to Martinsville.
Got to make that morning light. All right, guys, welcome back into the Rowdy Studio. I'm Stephen Levine. This is Tom Vandervoort sitting alongside me.
Wow.
I just threw that in there.
That feels good.
I just made an executive decision.
Okay, that's fine.
And we're talking Martinsville Speedway this weekend. And we had the opportunity to talk to Jeff Gordon earlier in the season about Martinsville. Let's start with what Jeff had to say, and then we'll add to it.
Talk to us a little bit about Martinsville, a unique track on the circuit. Was on the first Cup Series schedule way back in '49, so that track's been good to you over the years. What does it take to run that place?
And I'm so glad it's still on the Cup schedule.
It's an awesome place.
I love that track. Yeah. It means a lot to me. I mean, not just because of the wins we've had there, but it's just there's a comfort about going there, short track racing, the fans, you know, how excited they get about what they're about to see, the bumping, the banging, and to me, just, you know, having a big, heavy Cup car with 850 horsepower on a short track like that. I think EFI is going to be interesting at a place like Martinsville this year, and how we tune the power curve as well as the economy, fuel economy. And then I think, you know, as usual, you know, just going to Martinsville and getting that car to roll through the center of the corner and leap up off those corners with good drive off. Obviously, brakes are also something important. And it's just those challenges are something that I really look forward to every time we go to Martinsville, and can't wait to get there this year.
Is it tough to convince yourself to get out of the gas as early as you need to there?
It's definitely a place where the guys that struggle there are the guys that usually are trying to attack the corner, you know, too hard. You know, I always compare it to a slick dirt track, and to me the approach of a slick dirt track is slow down to speed up. You know, the easier and softer you get into the corner, the sooner you can get the car turned, the sooner you can get back in the gas. I wish it was quite that easy to just go and approach it, but every time I go to Martinsville, I still have to tell myself, you know, not so deep, not so deep. So, you know, it's a fun place to go and race and to watch as a spectator.
But the real important question about Martinsville, hot dogs, yes or no?
They're not for me.
Okay.
You know, I like my hot dogs, but Martinsville,
a little too pink.
a little too pink, and you know, love them, hate them, but they're just not something I go after.
Understood.
Very good. Here's the way I think about this, Stephen. You tell me if I'm right.
You almost called me Cutler.
I almost called you Cutler. The way I think about it is, this is less about the equipment and more about a driver feel. When a driver has a feel for this track and knows how to get into the corner, through the center and off, then he can get that race car tuned in to match that feel. And that's why you see a Jimmy Johnson, a Denny Hamlin, Tony Stewart at times, Jeff Gordon at times. Last year was Kevin Harvick and Smoke. They get that feel for this place, and they can kind of dominate. And you see guys win multiple races here because it's less about the car and it's more about the driver.
In fact, 16 of the last 18 races were won by just 4 different drivers.
Tony Stewart, Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Denny Hamlin, and Kevin Harvick. I know that's 5.
Well, Kevin Harvick and Rusty Wallace each have 1 victory in there, so I didn't include them. Now, we just heard Jeff Gordon talking about drive off. You've also heard that referred to as forward bite.
Yep.
And I think if you don't understand that concept, Martinsville is the best place to see it. Getting through the corner better than your competitor, getting back in the gas sooner to elongate those straightaways. Forward bite, getting through the center of the corner, Martinsville is just a great place to figure out what that really means as a viewer.
And what it means is when I step on the gas, do my tires hook up to the racetrack and drive me forward? Because here's the trade-off. The corner is really flat and it's really tight. That means the race car does not want to turn and is not getting a lot of help from the racetrack to turn. What do? You free up the back end so the thing swings around and gets through the center. But then what happens? You step on the gas and the thing is loose and starts, you know, the back end starts sliding out and you can't get off down the straightaway. That's forward bite, getting on the gas and getting off down the straightaway. And the balance of those two things, what you need to do as a driver to get into the corner easy enough so you can roll through the center without using up your brakes and then get back on the gas. That combination of things is super tricky, and very few guys have mastered it.
Now, last season was the first since 2006 where there was not a Martinsville victory by either Jimmy Johnson or Denny Hamlin.
Well, they had won 7 in a row.
Let's talk about drivers. Do you see that trend continuing, or do one of those guys win this race?
It feels like Denny Hamlin to me, based on
just because he did at Phoenix.
What he did at Phoenix, and based on where he seems to be right now. He ran great last week too. He seems to be back to the 2010 Denny, not the 2011 Denny. So I like Denny Hamlin. You have to like Jimmy Johnson. I think you have to like Jeff Gordon here.
And
Tony, he's had a slow start to the season.
And Tony Stewart is the defending track winner. He won here in the fall. But another guy for your consideration,
Kevin Harvick.
Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah, absolutely.
3 top 10s in a row. Of course, a second in this race last year. This is a great track for Dale Jr.
He's had multiple top 5s.
He's 4th in average finish, just behind Jeff, Jimmy, and Denny.
He's never won here, but he's very good here.
I like Dale Earnhardt Jr.
It would be 200 wins for Rick Hendrick. If Jeff, Jimmy, or Dale were to win, 200 for Rick Hendrick. But how cool would it be for Junior to come back where he finished 2nd last year, get off that long losing streak, and give Rick Hendrick win 200? That would all add up to something.
Well, I'm going with Junior. Junior's my pick.
You're just pandering to the Junior Nation.
A little bit of pandering, but I also think he's a good, strong pick here.
All right, sounds good. For Stephen Levine, I'm Tom Vandervoort. We'll see you next time.
That doesn't sound good. That just sounds weird.
I know.